We continue now at the top of Daf Kufyut Chesam at Aleph and Meseches Bava Basra. This is Bava Basra Daf 118a. The Gemara continues with Rav Papa's question to Abaya. Rav Papa asks, Elo leman do Omar leboy ha'aretz, according to the one who says that the land of Eretz Yisrael was divided up according to those who entered the land of Eretz Yisrael. So Maila Rav Tarbu Nachalosa, what does it mean that a tribe that had more people would get more of an inheritance? What actually happened was every individual who entered Eretz Yisrael got one portion of land, so everybody essentially got the same amount. And to that the Gemara says Kasha, the Gemara leaves that as a difficulty. And the Rashbam explains Kasha, it's difficult. Lididon Kasha means to say it's difficult according to us. Because we don't know how to explain the pasuk according to that Tana. And the Rashbam continues, because you can't say what the pasuk means is Larav Tarba Oso Shu Rav Achshav. You'll say that a shevet that has a lot of people right now entering Eretz Yisrael, Tarba Nachalosa. So you could say the pasuk means that shevet gets a larger inheritance, because if everybody's getting a portion of land, everyone who enters Eretz Yisrael gets one portion of land. Obviously, a shevet with more people is going to get a larger amount of land. And let's say you have a tribe that's fewer right now, so so it means that the inheritance is less. So maybe you'll say that's what it means, but the Rashbam says you can't say that. The Svarahu, because it's logical, because it says already in the pasuk earlier, you're going to divide the land according to these individuals who enter the land. That wouldn't need a pasuk. In other words, if everybody is getting one portion, of course it is obvious that the tribe that has more people is going to have more land. That would not be the explanation of this particular pasuk. And the Rashbam continues, V'gam ein lashon tarba v'tamid, and furthermore, the language of tarba and tamit, mashma elikesh ezen notel harbe v'zem ma'at. That just implies that one individual is getting more and one individual might get less. It doesn't mean the tribe. Shechelek ish zem meruba v'chelek chaveru mud. It sounds like it's saying this person might get a large person and a large portion, and this person might get a smaller portion. Aval kishakol hachalokim shavim. But if all of the portions are equal, ein zet tarbe v'tamit. You wouldn't call that tarbe v'tamit, and that's why it's difficult to explain this pasuk. Elahachi havalei l'meimar. It should have just said chelek kechelek in chalo. Everybody gets their portion. And the Rashbam continues with Chazar nami lekalu ukmin. Now maybe you'll try to say that the answer is, according to the one who says that the land was apportioned to those who entered the land of Eretz Yisrael, there was an idea of Chazara, that all that land goes back to those who left Mitzrayim and then is divided evenly among those individuals. So then actually some people entering Eretz Yisrael will get more land and some will get less. But he says you can't say that either. Because that we already know from another pasuk, from Lishmos Matos Avosam, Alibe de Haitana, according to that Tana. And the Rashbam says further, V'yod, and furthermore, Tarbe v'tamit mashma natil rishona. When it says Tarbe v'tamit, it sounds like that first portion of land that you're taking before the Chazara takes place. Shenotel kol echad chelko kodem she'achzir lavosem, what everyone is taking before it gets returned to their fathers. K'dechsiv b'sefer dekra, like it says at the end of the pasuk, ish lafi pekudav yuta nachalo, so each man will get his inheritance. And so therefore that's why the Rashbam says it is difficult to interpret the pasuk according to the one who says that the land was given to the boy ha'aretz. And the Gemara continues, V'yamar le Rav Papa li Abaya, and Rav Papa said to Abaya, B'shlam alaman d'amar li yotzei Mitzrayim. It works out well according to the one who says that the land was given to those who left Egypt. So Hainu dekat Tzavchan benos Tzlavchan. It makes sense that the daughters of Tzlavchan were complaining because Tzlavchan left Egypt. He was entitled to a portion of the land, and they wanted that portion of the land. Elulaman d'amar leboy ha'aretz. But according to the one who says that the land was given to those who entered Eretz Yisrael, so Amai Tzavchan. So what are they complaining about? Halesi delishkol, Tzlavchan was no longer alive, so he can't get the land. So what land were they claiming according to that man Amar? And the Gemara answers to that, or rather you have to say lechazara, because there is a halacha of chazara, velitol b'nechsei chefer, and therefore they're saying they should be able to take in the property of chefer, meaning to say there are children, descendants of chefer, who are entering the land of Eretz Yisrael. They get a land, their boy haaretz, and then it's supposed to go back up to chefer and then be reapportioned, and that should come back down to them. That's what they were complaining about. And the Gemara continues, B'shlam alaman d'amar li yotzei Mitzrayim. It works out according to the one who says that the land was given to the yotzei Mitzrayim, those that left Mitzrayim. Hainu dekat tzavchon b'nei Yosef. It makes sense then because the children of Yosef were complaining that they weren't getting enough land. Techsiv, as it's written in the pasuk, Vayidabru b'nei Yosef. It says that the children of Yosef, this is in Sefer Yoshua, the full pasuk is Vayidabru b'nei Yosef as Yoshua Lemor. Madua nasatali nachal gorel echad v'chevel echad v'ani amrav. I'm a very large nation. I should get a larger portion. So that makes sense because it was being apportioned according to the numbers that left Mitzrayim, and now Yosef was larger, so they were complaining. Elalamando Amar Laboy Arts, but according to the one who says the land was given over to those who entered the land, so my Kotzafchi, so what are they complaining about? Kulu Shakel. They're all taking land because whoever entered Eretz Yisrael is getting one portion. If Yosef was larger, they would get a larger portion. And the Gemara answers to that, Mishum Tefolim to have a Nefishilhu. Because Yosef had a lot of children, those children would not be getting land, even though they were very abundant, they were not getting as much land as they felt that they should be getting. That's why they were complaining. And the Gemara continues, Amar Abaya, Abaya says, Shma mino, you see from the Psukim, lo havechad de lo shakel, that there was nobody that didn't get a portion of land upon entering Eretz Yisrael. Tisal gadaitach havechad de lo shakel, because if it would enter your mind that there was somebody that didn't get land, iboy leila mitzvah, that person should have complained about it, just like we find by the Benos Slavchan and by the Bnei Yosef. And so therefore you see that everybody else, only the people listening in the Torah complained because they didn't have a portion, or they didn't have the portion they felt they should get, but nobody else had a complaint. But the Gemara continues, V'chitema, now maybe you'll say, that Tzavach v'ahani kas v'kra, that those who complained, those who screamed out and their complaint was heard, and their words were effective, maybe only that was listed, that was written in the pasuk. But the tzavach v'lo ahani, but anybody who complained and they were not listened to, their claim was not listened to, lo kas v'kra, so maybe that's not written in the pasuk, and maybe there were others who actually complained. But the Gemara continues, that's not true, ha-b'nei Yosef, because the b'nei Yosef, the tzavchi v'lo ahani, they complained, but they did not get what they wanted, v'chas v'nu kran, yet the pasuk wrote it, and so therefore you can't say that. So again, it's clear that everybody that is listed, those are the only ones who were tzavach, and nobody else was tzavach. But the Gemara says not necessarily, because Hassam over there may be the reason why Bnei Yosef were written, even though it was lo ahani, even though they didn't get what they wanted, because Eitza Tova Kamashmalan, because the pasuk over there is actually giving good advice. We're recording that incident because there was good advice that was given. And what was the good advice? The boy initially is dahure me'ena bisha, because the pasuk is trying to tell you that a person has to be careful about the ayin hara. And the Gemara says, "V'hainu dekamar lehu Yehoshua," and that's what Yehoshua was telling them. Tichsiv, as it's written, "Vayomer aleim Yehoshua," that Yehoshua said to them, "Im am ravat, if you're a large nation, alei lecha ayara, go to the forest." What does that mean? Amar lehu, he was saying to them, "Lechu v'hechbu atzmechem bayarm." If you have a lot of people, go hide yourselves in the forests. Shelo tishlot bechem ayin ra. That way, the ayin hara, the bad eye, will not rule over you. And so, therefore, maybe that's why that incident was recorded, to give this advice about trying to avoid the ayin hara. And we will continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Kuf Yud Ches Amud Beis.